You'll be performing at the Hope Center with Young at Heart. And I just wanted to ask, what does it mean to you to still be playing um, at this stage in your life?
I think, first of all, it's a blessing to be able just to get out of the bed without falling on your face
Yes.
and to get up and do something that you love doing, that you've been doing all your life, and still do it. And not only do you try to encourage other people, but you encourage yourself to keep on, because each time I do it, I feel stronger and better about life, and there's hope for people as long as I can do what I do, and what I do, if it helps somebody, they'll take a little bit I got from somebody else, and it keeps growing.
Absolutely. I love that, you recognize that and that you keep pushing on. So I kind of just jumped into the show tomorrow, but can you just share with the listening audience a little bit about yourself? I know you have lived so much life, but just who is Billy Arnold?
Well, Billy Arnold was a person who was born in South Bend, Indiana, and music was not one of my dreams. I was going to be a professional athlete, even though I was skinny and small. But my mother and father was musicians, and so music was around me all my life. The neighborhood I grew up in was full of musicians, which I didn't realize till later. And to make a long story short, uh, the organ player for Junior High and Walking the Heart lived in the same project. The guitar player lived in the same project. The original piano player for the group lived in the same project. The original drummer for him lived in the same project. So I was surrounded with all this music and stuff, but it kind of was around me, but I never paid no attention to it. So I just was lucky. And then I got a chance to go in from a skip and go to the Army. And when I went to the Army, I couldn't, I got drafted. Uncle Sam called me. And I couldn't read or know the music, so I went to one guy for one lesson who showed me one thing, and I can say his name is Eddie Knight. And so when I got to my audition, in the Army they give you all these auditions for different stuff, and they showed me a hammer, and I looked at the hammer and said, I don't know what that is. Showed me a screwdriver, I don't know. They said, well, what would you rather do, play the radio or fly a plane? I said, play a radio. Anyway, in the end, they told me I had to audition for the band. So when I got to the band, I just was honest. I said, hey, look, I can't read. I took one lesson from Eddie Knight. And the guy's eyes lit up. He said, Eddie Knight, oh, wow. He says, me and him play together. He said, I'm going to let you in the band, but you got to practice. And I said, oh, that's no problem. So from then on, I just kept going.
So you got into music by being in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Well, actually, before I got in the Army, I played bongos. They used to call me Bongo Bill.
Okay, I like that. But I love that. Similar story to my grandfather. He, played in the band in the Navy. So I just love that, even though you were drafted into the Army, that you found an outlet and somewhere where you could, do something that you enjoyed while you were serving. So thank you for your service. And I love that you were able to expand your horizons and, they gave you that opportunity there. Want to kind of get into your book because I thought this was really interesting. You have two books. Your first one, So You Want to Be a Musician, which is about, being a musician.
No, it's about life. You read it, it's more about, it's for anybody.
Okay. I love that. I haven't had a chance to read that one. I got your second one first. And then your second book is Keeping the Groove After 70 Plus. And I started to read a little bit and I looked at the title and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not 70 plus, but as I started to read more into the book, I realized this book is for anybody. And if you're smart, you will take the wisdom of the words that you're saying of someone who is 70 plus and apply those at any age. So I'm in my late 20s and I'm like, well, if I can pick up some gems now, then maybe I can avoid some things that I may not have to, endure because I took the lessons. What I thought was really interesting is that, well, before I get into my question, what does it mean to keep the groove for you?
Well, when people talk about a groove, let's say in a club,
Mm-hmm.
and the band's playing, and they're on this one particular rhythm, and you just keep playing this rhythm, and all at once it gets you like in church. They keep, and then you get into that feeling of that groove, and you just keep going on that. And for some reason, when you get in the groove, you just keep building on it. You don't get fast, you don't get louder, you don't get slower. You just feel good and keep going at that rhythm.
Okay.
To me,
Yeah, I think that's a great.
Webster might have another, answer for it, but that's mine.
Well, we're interviewing you, so we don't care about the other definitions of, what a groove is. And I love that. So just keeping the pace of where you are, not necessarily going faster or being louder, but keeping the groove of what you found. I wanted to read one part. Let me find the page, which I thought was really interesting. You said, you mentioned on page 5, you said, I try to do something every day, but sometimes there are days where I feel guilty if I don't do something. Whenever I get those days, I sit down and instead of playing the drums or something, I pick up the sticks and watch TV and just have my hands moving without even thinking about what I'm doing. So that really stood out to me because as a young person, you also mentioned, when you're young, you're going fast and sometimes you miss those things. But I think when we're trying to build something, we want to keep consistency, and every day looks different. So some days you might be 100%, other days you might be 20%. But I'm just curious, why do you encourage to keep moving even when you're not 100%?
Okay, an old man told me once, it's hard to hit a moving target.
Mm.
So, even though you're not doing what you want to do at 100%, you still are giving out that energy, which you like doing, and you're not thinking about it. It's becoming like drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're a baby, you gotta, you teach a baby how to drink the water, go slowly. But once you start drinking the water and drink it every day, you don't think about it. And that's the way life should be. You learn all these things, and you got to forget what you learn and just become a natural part of you. So you might be not having a good day. You might not feel like doing it, but you're doing it, but you're not thinking about it, and your body feels it.
Yeah, I love that. Just some encouragement, because sometimes people just stop.
Right.
And I think you're encouraging to do it and not necessarily think about it so much, or just change the atmosphere of how you're doing something, but to continue to be consistent. And I think that's like the message that you're trying to get out and wanted to convey to the listeners as well. What is something, going back kind of to the music, what is something that you may have learned too late? I know you're still learning, but what is something that you may have learned too late and hope that younger musicians can understand earlier on?
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience. And it sounds silly, but patience is such a great thing to learn, because when you get patience, you don't expect to do it right now and then. Like, we live in a society, if it ain't right now, it's no good.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have it right away. And a lot of times when you get things right away, they don't start you. So I would say the most important thing is just to have patience.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I think that's important. We live in this digital age, and everything is moving so fast. Like, you really can't keep up with what's going on. And I know with the internet booming, a lot of times people kind of want to be like overnight success, and I don't think that happens.
Well, a lot of time when you get success too soon, like when I came up my era, a lot of the young people were in Motown that are famous. They got success too soon and got taken advantage of. I hate to say how they would. Well, I can say they were taking sign them to a contract. I won't name the groups, but I know from fact they would say, "Look, we're going to give you $300 a week, whether you play or not, for 5-10 years." Well, if you're not working all the time and somebody's going to give you $300 a week, back then that's a whole lot of money.
Right.
But what happens when all of a sudden you got #1 hits all across the world, and you're still getting $300 a week? and the company's getting $30,000 a week off of you.
Right.
You know, because you get in there too soon and you don't have the experience, the knowledge of the business end of it. I tell all musicians, young cats, learn the business end of it too. Learn every aspect of it. Don't just learn how to play your instrument. Learn the computer. Learn everything you can about it. Because in the long run, with patience and learning that, you'll win out.
Awesome. I think that is very important, and thank you for mentioning that as well. Want to get back into the show. I'm gonna steal that from you. The show honoring Evelyn Harris and Young at Heart chorus. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, you're playing in the band, and what?
Well, actually, I got a new career with the Young at Heart. I've been playing with the band for over 20-something years. Now they got me singing with the choir. And I actually sing a couple of solos. And me never think I could sing, but they said I did good. So I said, you guys must have your hearing aids, off or down low. But the choir is a very inspiring group. Matter of fact, we got one person in there who's been there for a while, 104 years old. We got several people in their 90s. They dance, they sing, and they, beyond my belief, I can't believe how they can remember those songs and all the words. I struggle every minute with it, trying to learn that stuff. But the choir is incredible, and the show, Evelyn Harris, she is an instrument within herself, because I would watch her sing, and most of the very thing I enjoyed about, she enjoyed her singing, she did great and everything, but to see her enjoying the other people sing, where people didn't notice, I would notice, I would watch her, and if somebody else was singing, she would be so enthralled and intrigued with them, and she would push them along, and if they needed help with something, she was there. She knew everybody's song, everybody's part. It was unbelievable. I can't hardly learn mine. She would learn my part and the next 5, 6 people's parts and know all of it.
Wow.
And was very, she was an instrument. She like some musicians get to a point where their instrument is just a tool of what they are. Her voice was a tool of what she was. She was an instrument, and her life comes through her voice.
Wow, that's really awesome. How you were inspired by her, and I never met her, but just you explaining her essence and how she really immersed herself with everyone else's gifts, including her own. I think it seemed like it was a back and forth interaction of, you all taking in what she did, but then also her honoring what you all did as well.
Well, it's a very emotional part of the show, which is hard to get through, because they got her doing her last show singing the song, and the choir is live singing with her, and you got a picture of her on the screen singing the song, and you won't, when you hear her singing, it just touches you, so it just goes all through your whole body. Even though we heard the song hundreds of times, every time she's singing, it's like the first time.
Wow.
So that kind of reaction she has on not just me, but everybody in the choir.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, so I hope you're able to get there and see it, because it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm excited to, be able to experience that. Anything else you would like to share with our listening audience? I love that, you're telling us that there's people 104, there's people 90, you're in your 80s, not to just throw all your ages out there, but I just think it's honorable that you all are still performing, getting out there, because a lot of times I feel like I hear, as someone in their late 20s, that, oh, you get to your 60s, you retire, you slow down, you stop doing things, but I just feel like it's encouraging to see you all as a reminder to anybody, younger than you, no matter what decade or generation you're from, that you can keep going and doing what you love. In your book, you talk about slowing down, but you're not stopping. So I just feel like that's honorable.
Well, I can say is just keep on doing what you're doing. That's, and enjoy it, because we're only here for so long. To us, we may seem like we're here a long time, but it's not long. Before you know it, you'll be on the other side of the ground. So while I'm on top, I'm enjoying it.
Keep doing your thing.
Okay, and I hope to see everybody at the show. And as far as the books,
Oh yes,
yeah.
you can check out Mr. Arnold's books. So you want to be a musician and keeping the groove after 70. I'm gonna give you the website and spell it out for you. It's gonna be LeVELLERS press.com to order the book. Or I did see it over at Olive Tree Books, so you can find it there as well. So definitely check out those two sources and check out Mr. Arnold Books. And thank you so much for coming up to the studio and
Thank
chatting
you
with
for having me, and hope to see all you people at the show.
Yeah.
Hope we get so many people we have to do 2 of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Okay.
We are 90.7 FM. We are WTCC, and we just had conversation with Mr. Billy Arnold, who is a part of the Young at Heart choir. Love that that's the name of the group that you're a part of. And they're going to be giving tribute to Evelyn Harris tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Hope Center for the Arts in downtown Springfield. So as Mr. Arnold described, the essence of the show is something that you definitely want to check out and want to fill up the room. So like you said, they can do 2 shows and continue to do their thing and keep the groove. So we're gonna get back to the music. About 40 more minutes left in the program, and yeah, we're gonna hear some sounds of Norman Brown